Musa, how are you doing? Terrorist Musa, how are you doing today? For the second time.
Matter of fact, we are already in that kind of intensity of war against Biafra people, but we are defending our land and defeated them. I don't know how they will intensify the attack other than the throwing bombs. They have thrown bombs. They are throwing bombs all the time. Many of you are not aware of this. They are throwing bombs, and we are shooting at them from the ground or while they are on the air throwing the bomb. We have anti-aircraft. I don't know whether you people are aware of that. Our anti-aircraft may not be that sophisticated, but we are engaging them, and they will never stand to fly 10 minutes on the air, and they will run away. I don't know whether you are aware of that. We have sophisticated anti-aircraft too that we're using to engage these people. So ask people in Imo State to tell you what is going on. And that is a reason for why this whole thing is happening in Imo State. And you may not, I don't know whether you're aware of that, but like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, for those of you who may not like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of what you claim the way he was preaching his own, he said that Biafra will come from Imo State. And there was a reason for that. It is beyond spiritual, but at the same time, the reason why Hope Uzodinma was installed in Imo State was to continue the Islamization agenda against the conquest of the Southeast, and then they will spread to the South. So in order to stop that, we must stop Imo State, Nigeria representative in Imo State. And that's where the whole thing is happening. So for those asking, why is this thing happening in Imo State? It is happening not only in Imo State, it's happening all over Biafra land. But where it is more defined is in that Imo State, where they have installed their, the point, their cardinal point, which is
their strong man.
Their strong man, which is the cardinal point now where they will use to spread to other parts. So we must engage them and eliminate the presence of Nigeria from Imo State. That's why it is happening there. But having said that, yes, we are ready for anything. I mean, anything to make sure that we protect the life of our people, our women and children. Those life of our women and children are the most important thing for us. And that's why we are doing everything. So we are going to do everything and anything possible to exchange whatever natural resources in exchange for arms and ammunition to protect our land. We're ready for that. But let me tell you, we may not even go to that extent. Who is making this noise, please?
I don't know. I'm looking for the mic. I don't know which mic. I don't know which mic is making that noise. Honestly, I don't know.
We are ready for anything. And let me tell you, we may not even go to the extent of saying that we need more weapon. Everything is not about weapon. Everything is not about gun and bullet. The only reason we are carrying gun today is just to make sure that they do not come and burn our villages like they are burning before. They do not come and kill our people like they are killing before. That's the only reason we have these guns. So it is not to go to fight and liberate ourselves or to fight and break away from Nigeria. No, we are not fighting to break away from Nigeria. For us to fight for break away from Nigeria, we need jet, we need armor tank, we need all those things. We're not fighting to break away from Nigeria. We're only fighting to defend ourselves, to defend our women and children from getting killed like a chicken like they have done in the past. That's the reason we have gun. Our gun is not to break away from Nigeria and declare independent state. No. Our gun is as we are pursuing the diplomatic... Who is making this noise, for Christ's sake?
I need to mute. Let me mute everyone. Maybe it will help. Okay.
All right.
PM, go ahead, sir.
All right. So
that person is still talking. How manage? Who is this person? Who is this person? That's
can you where is our Australian rep here?
No, I'll remove the Australian rep from the room.
I think he's the one I'm hearing this voice.
Please, Mazi,
Iwunze, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Please,
I can hear you. So you are the one. Can you mute yourself? You are the one talking. And how are you still talking when you are not even in the speaker?
I wonder.
Wow.
You are still talking. Yeah, mute yourself, please. Mute your mic.
Okay.
You are still talking.
If he's not muting, you have to just leave the space and come back again, please.
Yeah, you can leave this. You can leave the space and come back, please, so that
Leave the
we don't.
space entirely, please.
All right. So, sorry for that interruption, everyone. So, like I was saying, for those who think that what we are doing today is that we are fighting and breaking away from Nigeria. No, we are following this whole thing in a very peaceful way, in a diplomatic way, in a political way. So, and like you know, in case if you don't know, we have 4 different approach to Biafra freedom today. 1 is the diplomatic approach. 2 is the political approach. 3 is the civil disobedience approach. And 4 is the armed struggle approach, which is for the self-defense and the protection of Biafra land. So those thinking that we are going to start shooting gun after December 2nd, you are very far from it. What we are doing after December 2nd is to pursue this whole thing with the international diplomacy and the political means and the political approach. So it is one of the most effective way to get our freedom, as well as we are evicting Nigeria with our arms in our land. So this is exactly what we are doing. So those expecting that if the thing escalates, are we going to need arms? We are already getting arms, and we are going to get more. And that arms is not to start declaring war, or we're already at war. But what we're going to do is to continue to get arms and ammunition to defend our women. You can imagine a country where you have people that carry arms to defend themselves. Instead of you to go against those people carrying arms, you look for innocent people. Is that the kind of country you want to be part of? And then some people will say, oh, you are the one that made military to come to Biafra land to kill people. You are the one who bring military because you carry gun and give to people, so military are coming. And you ask them, when we did not give gun to people, who was the one bringing the military? What was the reason the military coming to kill innocent people in the playing ground in Aba? Were they carrying arms? What was the reason for military killing people in Mazin and the Kano house? Were they carrying arms? What was the reason the military was killing people in Nkpo Junction? Were they carrying arms? What about in Enugu? Those people killed in Enugu, were they carrying arms? So these are the things that people are not asking. Before we start arming the Biafra people to defend themselves, why were the military killing them? And then when you talk, they say, oh, you arm them. That's why they are coming. That's why they are coming to kill. My brother, my sister, I want you to know today that if we did not arm Biafra by now, not even your village will be safe. They will come and kill, just like they did in Oklahoma community. They came there and they leveled. Bayelsa. It is not only this government. Obasanjo did it. With the massacre. Everybody knows about the massacre. Did anybody take anybody to court, to ICC? The answer is no. Did anybody take anybody to any court in the world for the massacre of Udi? Nobody. So how long will we continue to live in a country, and how long will people continue to defend a government that kill its own people in the name of looking for criminals? So we are profiling a solution, bringing alternative that if a government that when somebody commit crime, look for that criminal. If somebody carry gun and say he's a criminal, look for him. Do not go after his family members. Do not go after his siblings. Do not go after his community because somebody is a criminal in the community, and then you kill the entire community. Is that the kind of government anybody will be proud of? We are eradicating that government, and that's what we are doing. That's why we carry arms. And these arms will continue to increase. That's what we are doing today, my brother. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, go ahead. Have you invited some of your friends while the PM is answering your question? Ask one more question, very relevant one, the one that bothers you more, and then let's see if others will join you in the request. Go ahead, please. One more question.
Okay. Let me just say this before I go. This question goes to Simon Ever, right? Are you assuring us, like, because on the social media you see people mocking, right? Even saying what will happen after second, we will be here after 2nd of December to see how things go. And me, I have made research personally to know how these things work, and so I'm only asking this to know: are you assuring us that after 2nd of December, there will be changes, even if it takes time? There will be changes that people will know that indeed there was a declaration that was made. Is that what you are assuring
I am not. I am
You
not.
are sure?
I am not assuring. I am guaranteeing you and Biafrans that it's not. I'm not giving assurance. I'm guaranteeing Biafrans and the entire people that believe in what I'm doing. I'm giving a guarantee that they will see what will happen from after December 2nd. And like I said, if you have listened to this space, I said we have started educating the people in Washington D.C. We have started educating policymakers. We have started educating congressmen. We will take this education to the Department of State. We will take this education to the highest level. And from there, every other person will follow. Mark my word, this is how Biafra is going to come. And
Right.
what we are promising is a solution to bring stability to this anarchy situation in Biafra land, in Nigeria, and the Sahel region. And Biafra is coming as a solution. So who is not going to buy into or key into that? Because this have disturbed and interrupted trade. It have disturbed and interrupted movement of goods and services, including shipping. There has been a lot of attack, piracy and all that. We are going to put a stop to all this. So which government in the US that is not going to be interested in ending all this nonsense that is happening about terrorism and all that? The terrorist interest is in Biafra land. And if you understand that a reasonable people, policymakers, think tank group are now keen into Biafra government as a solution. And that was the reason you can read Michael Rubin article about the next administration must keep an eye on Nigeria. Have you read it? It is from the National Security.
Have you read that?
It is from the National Security Journal of the United States. Have you read that article?
I saw you post it. I haven't read it.
You see, that is the point. How can you not read it and you are interested in what we are doing? So all these questions that you are asking, that particular article should open your eyes. So I advise you to go and read it. After reading it, share it with your colleagues for them to understand the level of the job we have done.
That most of them are preoccupied with a notion that they have been sold to them about you. They have already believed some of the lies and propaganda. So sometimes, no, I'm not talking about you.
Why do you like to?
Mayor, I know you have.
You should be more professional. Stop attacking people. You're making people afraid of asking questions.
I'm not attacking now. You see, you are just preoccupied
when
with some of the things you think about me.
Stuff like this, many people with genuine question will be afraid of entering here because of embarrassment. They feel like you embarrass them when they come to ask questions.
But you cannot see that that's not true.
Pastor Raf, Mayor, you have been. I think the PM has given you a lot of privileges, and you enjoy a lot of privileges. Commune with him. Now, what you have to do is you have to go back and make your research, read his tweets, and follow up. Whatever that Pastor Bamba is doing is not attacking people. He is doing everything he's doing out of experience. What we have seen 2-3 years back, and we don't entertain that kind of laxity anymore. We are going to run democracy when we are free. But for now, it is all about focus. And this is what he's doing. So he's not attacking you. Thank you.
Thank you. P, I'm sorry, I didn't take the word out of your mouth, sir. You were trying to conclude on something. I was just, I'm sorry for interrupting, sir.
No, I was just telling him he cannot be looking for, if he's really interested to know the truth and what we are doing, not just what is coming from my mouth or what I'm going to say on the space. You should also follow and read what I'm posting. Now, that article by Michael Rubin is from the National Security Journal in the United States. It's one of the highest think tank group or the think tank institution, foreign policy and American policy making institution in the United States. So if people like that can actually recognize the Biafra government in exile, because that article is a recognition of the Biafra government. So if you read it and you see the content of that article, that should explain a lot. So when you come here, you will come to this place loaded with even more questions, because you would like to know some certain things from what you have read in that article. But here you're asking some certain question that may not even be the main thing that you need to know. So these are the problem, because when you go and read those things, You come here, you'll be prepared to be able to, you want to ask more questions to know certain things. But here you are not asking even the question that I'm expecting somebody like you to ask. But now you saw those things I post, you don't read them. So how do you know exactly what? Because most of the things I'm explaining to you here is not everything that you need to know. But when you read most of those things, have you also read the OBT International Eye on the Biafra self-referendum? Even our self-referendum has been recognized by another institution from the United Kingdom, who came to Biafra land by themselves to make a research, a field work research. They came. Nobody invited them. Nobody influenced them. They came by themselves. We saw it on their article. So I don't know if you have read the OBT International report on the Biafra self-referendum. That's a self-referendum that they are laughing at us that, oh, who is recognizing your self-referendum? Is there anybody observing it? Is it UN? People don't know how international law works. That is exactly the problem here. So Biafra government, as a government in Ezra, have the right to organize and participate in election. And this self-referendum is one of them. Once you organize yourself, meet the requirements according to the Montevideo Convention, you are good to go. We have demonstrated not only to have the capacity, but at the same time, we have demonstrated to have the capacity to govern our people, and the government of Biafra is now in charge, both in the government of de facto and the government in exile in Biafra land, and the entire governor in the southeast. And I'm using southeast, for example, because it is not a must that you must control the entire territory of your country before you can be recognized. Controlling even small part makes a very big difference. So if you look at the population of Biafra, 50 million has given the consent to the Biafra government to go ahead and do whatever it takes to liberate them from Nigeria. Who can go against that? So these are the things that you need to know. And these things I'm saying now were mentioned in that Michael Rubin's article. So please, read these two articles. Read the Michael Rubin article and read the OBT International article, where they specifically recognize, both of these articles recognize the fact that over 30 million Biafra has voted for the first several. As at then, 30 million has voted. They recognize that, and they were telling the decision makers, policy makers, to keep an eye on the Biafra self-referendum. And the Michael Rubin National Security General was telling this incoming president of America, the new administration, to keep an eye in Nigeria. And so that is how Biafra is going to come. And Biafra is only providing solution so that everybody can benefit. Everybody who is doing business in that region can benefit. Both the European Union, both the America and other African countries will have a smooth sail in their shipping without any piracy attacking them, without any security threat. It is a win-win for everybody. So why should we be beating around the bush and trying to kill each other when we are bringing solution? And you as a Biafran, all you need to do is, if you do not agree in what we are doing before, sit down, research on what we are doing, forget whatever people, because the reason why many of you, like Rafael was saying, is not reading what we are posting is because you are already preoccupied with the propaganda that you are hearing on social media. Otherwise, you should be paying interest. If you can come here to engage me in a question like this, you should have big interest to read what I'm posting, to see, is this a lie? Like when we are posting pictures of the congressmen meeting the Biafra government in Ezra, meeting with the congressmen, including meeting with the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. They say it's a fake. They say it's a Photoshop. And I wonder how we are going to go to the level of photoshopping all these people, prominent people, posting them on Twitter and all that, and none of them have come to debunk it's a lie. So, there are some kind of propaganda that when you are hearing it and seeing it, it makes you look stupid. If you continue to follow the people that are pushing such propaganda, other people will just see you as a foolish person. Because you cannot, somebody like me, or this Biafra government in Israel that have the head office in the United States, cannot just come and start posting picture, tagging the House of Representatives, tagging congressmen that we have met with them. And some of these people, I met with them, had a meeting with them, explain the reason why they must support Biafra. And when I come publicly to say I have had a meeting with such person, tag the person, and people will carry the news and say, oh, it's a propaganda. He didn't have a meeting with anybody. And I wonder why you should be following such people with such propaganda. It doesn't make sense. It makes you always look foolish. So that's what I'm trying to say. So if you have people now, what you need to do now is that, look, go and engage this guy, which is me, on space. Ask whatever question you want to ask, and I will address you. And at the end of the day, I'm not asking you to follow what we are doing, but I'm asking you to use your conscience and judge yourself. That's exactly what I'm doing. Judge yourself with all this propaganda on social media. You remember how they started? They say, Tinubu paid me. It is not flying anymore. They say, I am an agent of Nigeria government. Now it is not flying anymore. They have changed again to say that I'm a CIA agent. It is not flying again. They say I must be sponsored by some European countries that want to destabilize Nigeria. And who is not going to be happy as a Biafra? If I'm being sponsored by a European country to destabilize Nigeria, are you happy to be in Nigeria? You need to be in Nigeria. Need to be destabilized. So if somebody is sponsoring me to destabilize Nigeria, you should be happy, because Nigeria needed to end for you to have a better life. So why is destabilizing Nigeria become a problem to you that is fighting to end Nigeria and become free and get freedom? So you see, and they changed from that to say that, oh, now he is being sponsored by some occultic people, like some pastors said in those days. So there is nothing that I have not said. But at the end of the day, my job, the activities I have done, and the result will always expose them, and they will always change from one thing to another. So my brother, we're not here for that. Thank you very much.